Hello and welcome to a special spin-off edition for us here at the Mic'd Up Show. My name is Michael Kelleher,
And I am Michael Zhao.
and today we have with us Randy Lightbody, head of mortgage for Truework, and an industry veteran. Everybody knows his name. So when he moved to Truework, phone started ringing. I had multiple people tell me I have to run into Randy. It's more in your world, Michael. Now you got to figure out what he's doing. Already with he might not say it, but 8 of the top 10 lenders in the industry are using him. Those are the type of referrals I like to make. If it's working for a reason, you should find out how. Randy, this is about MBA annual at the Fountain Blue in Las Vegas. What is Truework going to be doing out there?
No, thanks, Michael. Appreciate the time this afternoon. Yeah, well, besides having, we're a sponsor of the MBA. We certainly have meeting rooms, but we also have booth 19. So please come by in the convention center, find us, booth 719. That is, we're giving away a $500 airline gift card to a couple of lucky winners, or love to meet with you just individually as well. Our Lightbody at Truework.com. That would also be how to get a hold of me.
That's great. You know, the topic out there apparently. And I was talking with Brian View from Mismo, and they just had the Mismo Summit, and everybody's talking about AI. It's the most well-received topic at the conference. But when people come back from the conference, they have to face their workforce. What do you see AI's role in the job roles of today's mortgage cycle? And what do you think that will do to impact future jobs in the mortgage industry?
Yeah, first and foremost, congratulations to Brian, a good old friend, and look forward to catching up. We were at Mismo. It was a great conference. And you're right, AI was the buzz, right? What will replace mortgage jobs? What will the current jobs become? Those were the questions we were getting. And, really AI won't replace people, in my opinion. It'll help them shift towards a higher value work, right? Mortgage has been evolving. We've shaped this for over 50 years, and AI is just the latest reshape of the mortgage industry. Not the last one, I don't think, but definitely the latest one. The same as the past, innovation just reshaped how people did business. AI will continue to be that evolution. I do think that it is less of a threat than people want to believe, and just going to shift these men and women towards higher paying value work for them. The exception managers, data validators, quality analysts, senior underwriters, it'll all be about empowering people to use their expertise where it matters most, not on the mundane. So we have to lean into it. It's not going away. And I think we've seen that across the industry so far. Very excited to be a part of it.
There's a lot of talk about what AI is actually doing. People assume what things are going to happen, but actually, how valid really are the industry's, perceived risks there are in AI, whether it's an employment risk or even fraud risk? If AI is just looking for numbers, can someone use fraud and will AI actually catch that? I mean, tell me about what are the industry's perceived AI risks and what you can do to mitigate against that.
Yeah, they're definitely valid concerns. There's no doubt, right? Mortgage is heavily regulated. And while people may be open to AI, much of it is still fuzzy on the inherent risks it does create. Inside the mortgage industry, bias, data privacy, those concerns are absolutely real. We have to take them very seriously. Mortgage is so heavily regulated for fines for noncompliance, mistakes can be, extraordinarily high cost to a lender. It was only 30 years ago since the first online mortgage first appeared. It was revolutionary at that time. And yes, I was in the business then, doing mortgages. But it really opened up the mortgage industry to more fraud risk. You talked about the verification frauds, the income frauds, the pay stubs they can now create, the W-2s they can create. Lenders were still able to reach a level of scale they never imagined before, and they will do so even further with the use of AI, however. What the industry really needs to do is look as AI as the next frontier of innovation. People can understand its application where it shines, right? For example, to generate text, to adopt dynamically to context, to understand its limitations. Once that's done, organizations can create the right standards to build that innovation into the business model without unacceptable risks, because everyone's going to have different risk tolerable.
Randy, they just came out with a study from Digital Mortgage that 86% of all applications in 2026 are going to be through the point of sale, or they call it the digital mortgage. I call it 265 clicks. They have not figured out a way to lower that amount. I think the only true way is through digital verification tools like yours that actually use the data to already have the answers. However, it's part of FHFA velocity. The reason I bring it up, Fannie Freddie, they talk about how that adoption level just isn't at the level that they believe it should be. What do you see as the primary obstacles for digital verification tools, and what breaks that hesitation from the customer side?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a want. Everyone wants to do it, but the obstacle is typically the friction involved in integrating the tech stacks pairing that with the uncertainty, which will produce, tangible business outcomes, will work or not work. It's not that lenders don't want to go mostly digital. They do, and they will. The hesitation is whether the effort will be worth it. Lenders worry about long, complicated IT projects. I hear that all the time. You're in the queue for 2026. If not, it's going to roll. But integrating a new tool, whether it will deliver all the promises it works or not, is what they worry about most. Will this really improve our day one certainty rates? Will work for all loans? If there's hesitation up front, then we should offer an easy button deployment option for them in the system. That's what we do. Vendors now create a built-in connectors, platforms like Encompass, Blend, and Encino allow for a quick low-code setup, certainly on the verification businesses that we offer. But more importantly, we must prove to everyone that it's an outcome-based proof of concept. A vendor should offer a 30-day parallel run if you're uncertain of how we or any verification provider will, how will it work versus your current process to what it looks like today. Are your completion rates, not your hit rates, are your completion rates really going up? By going digital, we've helped our customers get to a 75% completion rate. And that's massive, right? That's industry leading. And so 75% time, you're going to get your verification of income and assets and employment. And we're saving lenders well over 50% of those verification costs. One example, we're saving a top lender over $8 million in cost alone this year. Meaningful impact to their shareholders and to their firm for sure.
Some of the lenders are really afraid of having more cost. And especially when that added layer of security of checking the checker again. I think there's an inherent fear of using more security layers as a result. So does it add another layer of difficulty and cost, or can it actually reduce? I actually don't know. So can you explain how that works so we don't have to check the checker's checker?
Yeah. No, great questions. The average verification cost is over $200 per file today on a closed loan basis. Ours is significantly less than that, which is fantastic. And so as a result, verification has all the hurdles, that extra layer of risk, data, and the timing of it for the cost reduction we bring to it, and we make it simple and easy. Once we're with the right decision maker inside a firm, they look at it and they go, "Oh, I get it." Verification tools like ours, face all the typical adoption hurdles, integration, change management within a firm, but they have that extra layer of difficulty. Restrike that one. Change management. But with that, the extra layer of difficulty they perceive is not actually there. The stakes are high. Failure in the verification process, it's not a minor one. It can actually cause the loan to fall out entirely or be repurchased if it's one they closed and they shouldn't have. And the timing is incredibly tight. Verification failures often surface right before the loan is ready to close, which is a problem. Because of this, adoption in this tech stack, certainly with verifications, only happens when a vendor that is, can prove without a doubt that our solution is better, faster, and cheaper with minimal IT effort. That's what they want to hear, and it's true. Minimal IT effort because we're integrated inside the POS, inside the LOS, or an API. And a clear reduction in cost and cost per funded loan like we offer. Singular digital solution. We make the adoption of digital verifications and using our technology simple and easy, which is important.
Sounds like you make it simple, easy by bringing in all of those moving parts into one singular effort. I think everybody's wondering now, how are you implementing AI and automation into the platform to do all that?
Yeah, it's proprietary technology that we've certainly have and worked on over the last 8 years of our creation at TrueWork. Recently bought by the company Checker, the largest background company in America. combining our two companies and the technology and the AI we have, not only we making the background world that much more efficient, we're making the background world and checking world, no pun intended, inside the mortgage banking space the same. Upfront, a lot of automated tools, a lot of proprietary technology, and doing that with some partners as well. We partner with companies like Argyle and Finicity, are two of our partners inside of our waterfall. So we have others that help us, and we help them become the vendor of choice for verifications of income and assets and employment.
Randy, how can a non-QM lender benefit from what you offer?
Yeah, it's certainly a massive play right now, the non-QM space. We've signed two very large non-QM players in this past quarter. I'm super proud of that. Our first two, and we're going to have many more. Same way, right? Certainly they want to be able to read bank statements, understand what income's coming out of those bank statements. That's a massive part of the non-QM business, completely understood. So, we have a doc program. We can upload the docs. We can read the docs, and/or that they want to. There's other products inside the non-QM space that are, full doc, quote unquote. And with that, we can certainly utilize our efforts as well. And home equity is another big use case. We're doing a ton of home equity loans right now. It's half the price of our normal mortgage offering. So with rates high, we'll see where they go in the future. But rates are still high. Home equity is a massive opportunity for us all, and we're doing a lot of that.
And we want to remind everybody, this is a special MBA annual edition. You'll see a couple of these episodes coming out primarily by our sponsors who sponsor our shows, which are always live at 2 p.m. on Thursdays, Eastern time.
And of course, always at 11 a.m. Pacific time on the West Coast in San Diego.
And we do it live on LinkedIn to encourage our listeners to come and ask questions, but you can always catch it on podcast on any of the 16 methods to listen to your favorite podcast. And thanks to our sponsors like Truework on the main show. So we're talking MBA annual. Before we go, Randy, I know we led with this, but where can we find you at the MBA annual?
What a great time, right? MBA, all these MBA events, great conference, always great to see clients, prospect, and friends. We're going to have a booth number 719. I think it's on the 4th floor. I think the main meeting rooms are on the 6th floor. But we'll have big raffles. We'll be giving away $500 gift certificate for airline use, however you want to use it. And if you want to meet with me personally, I'd love to do that. Lightbody at Truework.com. I would also say those that are attending and registered and staying at the Fontainebleau, you're going to get a special gift from Truework when you check in. I think it's actually going to be in your room. So please look for that. I think you'll be excited to see what it is.
I'm excited. I'm both of those, registered and at the Fontainebleau. So when I get in my room, I'll make sure I get a video effect. So we'll show it on our show at a future date.
Thank you. Done. I think you're going to like it. I've been to, this will be my 38th MBA conference. So I've seen a lot of things tried. This is going to be awesome.
Oh, awesome then. I believe it. Thank you again. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Mike. Have a good day. Thank you.
The business is crazy right now, the origination business. And if you're not, offering all products, you're going to lose business. You're going to lose your core business. But also, if you're not thinking out of the box, you're probably never going to grow your business, right? Non-QM is not a rate and term refi product. It's purchase or cash out. What do you need the money for? And how can I help you get the money? Yeah, interest rates are always going to ask about interest rates. They're going to be higher than agency rates because that's the market. So what's the purpose? Be curious. Ask the questions for the consumer. Not all of them are going to buy it. Some are going to push back on you, right? But a lot of them will understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to help them get money that maybe a lot of people would not lend it because of their situation. Because they own a lot of properties. They are real estate investors. They do get paid differently, and they don't show their income like, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac guidelines want them to, right? Be confident, understand the programs. There's a lot of non-QM people like NQM funding out there. We'll help you. We'll give you the training. We'll stand by your side. We'll help you structure the deal.
It's been an incredible journey here at First Community Mortgage. I'm humbled and honored to participate in the podcast. And, as I think back about being grateful, really it comes down to the values of the organization. And it's really not about values on a wall. It's how those values manifest themselves out in the organization. And we really like to take time to recognize and to reward our team members who consistently live out the values, but that's not enough. I think what's important for leadership to do across the country is to mine for the absence of value. That's where the real work is, and that's where the rewards will take place. When we can come together as a transparent and healthy organization, when we can come together with healthy conflict, we can make a real difference in our organization and also in the communities we serve.
Hey everyone, had a great time on the show today. We talked a lot about loan officer and agent relationship, how to stay in touch with your clients. We talked a lot about the buying experience. Obviously, there's a lot of people on the fence today and how to nurture those relationships. Talked about some of the cool products that I've been working on through a company called Raise, how you show value proposition, both for agents and then eventually for loan officers. It was a great show. Spent about an hour going through a lot of different subjects and how to make your business excel in 2024, what's left of it, and then certainly how to head into 2025. So tune in.
What's happening today is that you're able to get all those good things in a smaller company environment. So the environment is such that with AI and bot technology and such a robust vendor environment that you don't have to, basically forsake all those things to go work for a small company. A small company can give you basically all the same tools and things, processes that you have in a big company, yet less bureaucracy, less headaches, faster response times, better sort of customer service. So to run a successful mortgage bank and to basically hit on all cylinders, you needed the 4 Ps, and that's people. Obviously, people and culture. I think that should be at the top of anybody's list. You want to work with good people. You want access to those people. You want people that you could trust, respect, and enjoy working with. But then you got to think about the process. And today, you can have the best process and all the greatest technologies in a smaller wrapper. So products, again, most small to medium-sized mortgage bankers have an exhaustive product menu that's going to be identical to everything. Look, it's possible to have almost every product, if not more. At Assurance, we've got actually more products than I had when I was at a bigger company. So lastly, pricing. Again, with the advent of today's mortgage industry, the pricing advantages are small, if not stacked against the bigs, because the bigs have so much more of an infrastructure and operational overhead to cover. And so they need actually more pricing margin to cover that stuff. So
having my CMB is not something that I take lightly, and I do bring a wealth of experience and knowledge to the table and passion. And the role I'm looking for is one that I want to be long-term. I'm not looking to move to a new company every 6 to 12 months. And so I call out all those mortgage companies out there who tend to hire and fire when we go through the different cycles that we have. And so to make a more pointed and concerted effort to hire employees that you want to invest in as much as they are investing in you, and the true authentic feeling that we care for each other as human beings. I hate using the word family because you don't go to work to find a family. You go to work to find like-minded people that you can share passions with and grow with. And so with that, I would like to again thank you for your time. And I look forward to seeing who's ready to step up and